In this video, we're demonstrating a change to a COBOL program using Endevor and Code4z, the free and open extension pack for VS Code. We start by going to Explorer for Endevor, which uses your Zoe CLI team config to determine which inventory location to browse. We find the element we want to change and open it in an editor. As you can see, the COBOL editor, included with Code4z, has syntax highlighting and can even be extended to support custom dialects if needed. To make it easy to understand legacy programs that may number in the many thousands of lines, Code4z includes an extension called COBOL Control Flow that gives you a visual picture of the logic of the program. Clicking on the nodes in the COBOL Control Flow lets you jump around and navigate the code. Conveniently, hovering over variables shows you their definitions in a little pop-up window. You can also right-click and peek at a variable's definition in a larger window to give you more context, even if the variable is defined in a separate copybook. Similarly, you can right-click on a variable and look at its references. Doing this opens a window that displays all the locations where the variable has been used. Once you start editing the code, IntelliSense allows you to auto-complete as you type, including a live view of any syntax errors being introduced. The outline view shows you critical sections of the code. Clicking on the nodes in the tree lets you quickly navigate to those sections to make any necessary edits. For our change, we'll click into the procedure division and make a small change to the update account message. For fun, we'll add Hello World to our successful update message. We can see that we're pushing the line length past the allowable limit from the Problems view at the bottom. We'll fix that. And now we're prompted for a change control ID to enter into Endevor, so we'll add the change control and comment and then save. Now, we'll go ahead and generate and build our code. Again, we need a change control ID, so we'll provide that. Conveniently, we're asked if we want to see the listing from the build, so we'll go ahead and do that. We can also access the listing anytime by right-clicking the element and choosing Print Listing. To turn our object output into a load module, our application must generate our link element, so we'll go ahead and do that. We'll again put in a change control ID, and our load module is generated successfully. To test and debug our load module, we'll have to deploy it into a live Kix region, which we can do with Zoe Explorer. In the location I have defined in my Zoe team config, I have some JCL, which I can use to deploy from the development region in Endevor to a test Kix region. Notice Code4z also includes syntax highlighting and IntelliSense for JCL. I'll submit the job, and then I'm prompted to add it to the Jobs node in Zoe Explorer to track its progress. Here, we see it completed successfully, and I can open the node to see the output from the job. Now let's look at how to use the debugger powered by Intertest with Code4z. I'll click on the debug view, make a little bit more room for the debugging session, and now I'm going to go and fetch the source for the debug configuration. I'll need to enter my password to connect to the Intertest server. Once the source has been fetched, I can add breakpoints anywhere in the code. So, let's navigate down to where we changed that message, and we'll go ahead and add a breakpoint right before it. We can see the Hello World message and the breakpoint I've added to the line. Now, we'll initiate a debugging session and connect to the Intertest web server. Using Zoe Explorer, I will submit another job using the green screen UI to trigger the account updated message. Once the breakpoint is hit, the debug view automatically opens with the code paused on the line on which I set the breakpoint. We can create watches for any variable where we'd like to see its value as the code executes. Now, I will go ahead and step over the code to the next line, which should move the account update message into the com message variable. At this point, I'm going to go to the variables view in the local section, and I'm going to look and see that the message is indeed updated to what I thought it would be. We can also change the value of variables on the fly to exercise different code paths and test different scenarios. Here, we'll change the value to hello Code4z. Now that we've updated the variable, we can resume execution of the code. Going back to the job in Zoe Explorer, we should see the new message based on the value I sent. So, let's refresh the job and look at the job output. As expected, it says hello Code4z. At this point, I'm done with development and want to promote the code to test. Visual Studio Code lets you create custom tasks. I have a Zoe CLI shell script that I'm going to run. It prompts me for the CCID of a change and then automatically creates a package for that change and executes it. Here, we're executing the Code4z change control ID task. And when the job's complete, we will go back to Explorer for Endevor and refresh and see that the code has been promoted out of the development area and into test. In summary, you've seen me start with an element in Endevor, open it, edit it, build it, debug it, and promote it all from the Code4z extension pack, which is available at no charge in the Visual Studio Code Marketplace.